What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. This is your oh my god, wait a second. We're doing this on a Thursday. We are not on a normally scheduled day of uploading. Guys, this is a Monday Night Raw 30th anniversary discussion along with your Royal Rumble 2023 preview and predictions. Guys, Loff and I were at Raw 30 in Philadelphia. Loff actually gets to live there in Philadelphia. I had to drive like 3.5 hours to the show, and well, it was a long drive. It definitely hurt my posterior on the way there and on the way back. But we are here, and while we weren't able to do a Raw 30 anniversary post show because obviously we did not get home until very, very late. But, you know, uh, decided to hold off on a Tuesday's talk and really, do a special for you guys where we talk all things Raw 30 and the Royal Rumble in one video. Uh, After everything that took place last night in the uh, Jay Briscoe tribute show on AEW Dynamite, which we will be talking about as well for a little bit. It's time to talk all things WWE when it comes to Raw 30 and the Royal Rumble. Loff, how you feeling, my man? It was finally a great chance to finally get the chance to meet you, and yeah, we're here. We're gonna talk all things Raw 30 and the Rumble.
Yeah, man, everything was cool. What's up, everybody? Bro, had a good day today. Um, Raw was it was a great show. Obviously, it was great to finally meet Phil. It was a weird thing, like finally watching the show alongside him instead of like just talking about it over the phone. But
Right.
um, it was a cool experience. We got to see a whole bunch of other creators there too. More
Yeah.
people than I thought were actually there. So that just made it even better. Um, I didn't get my red ropes. I thought we were gonna get the red ropes, but we
Somebody
didn't get
told me
there.
the stage changed, but it
Yeah,
didn't.
not no stage change, no, not everything was just the same. But the show was still great. Beyond that, um, yeah, man, everything is cool. That was just it was definitely a surreal experience seeing like Undertaker for the first time, and
Yeah,
well, for the first time for me, I never saw him live before.
me
Um,
neither.
see, so it was like it was a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Me and Phil screaming the Judgment Day song and freaking Bobby Lashley being freaking awesome. Everything was great. Everything was great.
We'll talk about the Bobby Lashley theory main event pretty soon, because man, when it came to that entrance, the one thing, and you can hear it in my video of Bobby Lashley's entrance, um, laugh you. Not only were you going crazy because of the pyro and everything like that, but when he got to the ring, you said, and I quote, "Do the thing with your arms."
Yeah, my
And
favorite part.
he does the whole thing with his arms, like, "Oh my fucking god!" I'm like,
My
dude,
favorite
this
part
is
is
just great.
freaking awesome.
Um, yeah, we we screamed our hearts out when it came to the Judgment Day theme. That was, always gonna happen, regardless, because Judgment Day. Uh, you know, everything, everything is Judgment Day. Just it's just an amazing song. You have to sing it. If you don't sing it at Monday Night Raw, you're just wrong for not doing it.
Best team in the biz. I think so.
It
At
really
least
is.
top
Miles
10.
Kennedy is just that dude.
You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, we're going to be talking about all things Monday Night Raw from round 30, and obviously the Royal Rumble that is coming up in just 2 days. Technically a day and a half now.
Yeah.
But we heard this is not going to be like a full-fledged Monday Night Raw post show, mainly because it did happen on Monday, and we're just going to be talking about our highlights from the show. We will be talking about each segment, but in a very quick, brief type of way and just give you our full thoughts on it. And then obviously the Royal Rumble, with only what, like 5 matches? Yeah, 5 matches on the card.
Yeah.
It's not too big, but obviously the Rumbles will take much of the time for the show. So yeah, man. You guys like what you hear so far? Hit that like button. Turn on the bell for all notifications as you hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Go get the merch. The merchandise is actually at teespring.com, the official home of OTB and its merchandise.
Yeah.
And yeah, follow us all on social medias. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. And yeah, tell me what you guys thought about Raw 30 in the live chat. What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? What are you looking forward to when it comes to the Rumble? Who are your winners? Who are your final fours? Let us know, guys, as we talk all things Raw and Rumble here on OTB. Well, if we start off with a bang, you finally get to not acknowledge the Tribal Chief live uh, when it came to the Tribal Court with Sami Zayn. The trial of Sami Zayn took place. This was in place of the acknowledgement ceremony that was supposed to happen at Raw 30. The reason why it got changed was because Alpha and Sika could not make it. They were not physically able to travel, which is a perfectly reasonable explanation. And Rikishi ended up getting sick. We don't know his actual sickness at this point, but he was unable to be there because of an illness. So they decided to switch things up on the fly. And honestly, I kind of like this a hell of a lot more than probably what we were going to get at Raw
Mhm.
30 with the acknowledgement ceremony. How did you feel about the change, and what was your overall thoughts of that entire segment? Because it basically almost took up the entire first hour.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was looking forward to the acknowledgement ceremony because I wanted to see freaking Dwayne pop up. But once I learned that Dwayne wasn't even scheduled to be there, I know I would have been like severely, severely disappointed.
I highly
Mhm.
doubt that those reports were true when they said like
Really?
he was just never even scheduled to be in Philadelphia. I find that very hard to believe because
Really?
I mean, why would you not try that, right? Like you gotta set up
That's the
somehow.
thing. Because that's the thing. We don't even know if he's going to be there on Saturday. So we're just like it's so much, so many unknowns, and I think I'd rather have it as unknowns, you
Me
know.
too. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think this acknowledgement ceremony was beautifully done. Um, I just watched it over back on like we're seeing, which I was seeing on the TV. Um, that was perfectly shot. I don't know how. I don't know how they like. I don't know if they made that on the fly or if that was just like they had that there for a later time and they just pushed it to now. I don't know
Right.
how, but man, that was a beautiful segment, top to bottom. Everyone played their part, except Jimmy. I feel like Jimmy didn't say a word during all of that.
No, Jimmy
Which,
did not say a
yeah,
word. I went back to watch it too.
yeah.
He
So
did not
I found that a
say a word.
bit weird, but
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't like take away from how amazing the segment was. That was great way to start off the show, and I found out that was commercial free that whole first hour, so y'all just getting
Yep.
like full fledged bloodline stuff, and y'all know I'm not a big fan of that Roman guy, but that was a um, very good opening segment. The whole trial was beautiful.
No, I mean, throughout this entire thing, the fans, I mean, we were all chanting at first when everybody was in the ring, ECW. Obviously, ECW is very, no, ECW was born in Philadelphia, and Paul Heyman was basically the spearhead of all of that. Heyman noticed that the fans were chanting ECW, and he picked up on it. And Heyman said, "Reigns, ECW is dead, and he wishes Sami Zayn was dead as well." That
That's
legitimately
hilarious.
floored me. I did not, I did not expect that, and the fact like. that was even said on Monday Night Raw was just insane to me. You and I looked at each other, and we can all vouch for this. That like, did he legitimately just say this?
It's great.
Like,
Wants him to
crazy.
die now. That's freaking awesome. That is crazy.
So, so Zayn was very like upset that like Heyman was saying all these things, like how apparently Zayn is a Judas, he is a betrayer of the island of relevancy, uh, and that there's been a conspiracy with Kevin Owens this entire time since day one. Uh, one of the greatest lines, and I will give Heyman huge props on this, is that he feels like Zayn was making them feel like the fans of the Philadelphia Eagles when they would be conquered by Brock Purdy. And like,
That's
dude, the
great, man.
crowd erupted with boos. I thought he was gonna mention something about the Eagles, but nothing about Brock Purdy. That was incredible.
Hey,
And
man. Fair game. Fair game.
there you go.
That should offended. That's how you knew it was bad. That should offended me. And I'm not even a freaking Eagles fan. I was mad just because I
I
lived
was
it.
mad. I'm like,
I mean,
wait.
I ain't like that. I ain't like that at all.
So
I ain't like
Heyman then, said that this was an open and shut case. He then presented evidence, A to E, like of scenarios that have happened over the course of the last 9 months, and really showed you like how all of this could possibly be a conspiracy when it comes to Sami Zayn being a part of Bloodline. And the way that they shot this, bro, the way that they made everything seem was just flawless. Like the Exhibit A, Exhibit B, like all of that, just
Yeah.
beautifully well done. Like I've never seen something like that before.
Nah, that was like last time I saw like that whole like research thing, like the whole research angle really pop up is when Vicky was trying to prove that Cena and AJ were having an affair. That's what it
Right.
reminded me of. That was the last time I saw like I have like freaking evidence of this. That was really cool. All of the evidence for some reason, all of it was like they were like really reaching to find stuff,
Right. Like
and that's a story in itself,
yeah.
But that was really
A lot
cool.
of the scenarios that he brought up weren't really scenarios that I felt were, incriminating of Sami Zayn in any way. Um I mean, when Drew McIntyre attacked the Usos, Sammy running away back in August of 2022, I mean, he wasn't even really a part of the Bloodline at that time. He was just kind of, hanging around them and just trying to get into the good graces of them. Um, Sami Zayn failing to attack Kevin in his match against Jey Uso and back in August, like at Survivor Series when he was on top of the War Games cage, just either celebrating or whatever. Like none of it was really incriminating enough.
Mm.
But Roman just gets furious and he tells Zayn, like, listen, do you like have any defense against all of this? Sami Zayn said no. His defense is that he has no defense. And Roman just goes ballistic. He's like, you don't even want to try to fight for this. You have such an ego that like it doesn't even matter to you anymore. He slams the mic down and screams solo. And he was about to give that man one of the biggest spikes because he grabbed him by the shirt and he was just gonna take it. He's just gonna take a Samoan spike until the one man that did not care about him throughout most of the 9 months that he's been in there, Jey Uso, comes in for the save, bro.
That was surprising.
Insane.
That was surprising. I thought it was Jimmy at first. I thought it was Jay. I was like, oh, okay, that's different.
Insane, man. And like he's like basically like, listen, with all due respect, I have some footage of my own. And he showed 5 scenarios of Sami Zayn being there for the Bloodline. Shows when the Usos beat RK Bro for the titles and assist of Sami Zayn from the production area. Sami getting hit by Drew McIntyre's Claymore instead of Roman Reigns. Sami saving Solo from being hit with a chair. Sami helping the Usos retain their titles back in December. And stopping the referee from counting to 3 from when Kevin Owens is about to pin Roman in War Games. So Sami Zayn was emotional watching this. Jay said that, like, listen, I did not give a I did not care about you at all when you started being a part of us, right? But you did not give up on me, and that's what real family does. So I love you, dog. And they basically embraced. Reigns told him to look at Jay because he saved your ass for now. You're not guilty, but you will have your final test at the Rumble, and I don't even want to see you until then. This is just flawlessly well done. Everything about this was just incredible.
Yeah.
It took like over 40 minutes to get that done, but well worth the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was you can't say anything else about it. That was really, really well done by everybody.
So he basically said, finish out the night, make sure that we're all proud, and I don't even want to see you again until the Royal Rumble. Now, this final test, it's obviously going to have to do something with the Universal Championship match at the Rumble when it comes to him defending against Kevin Owens. I got no idea what it possibly could entail. Maybe it actually doesn't have to do with this championship match. Maybe it has to do something with the actual Rumble match itself. But regardless, I'm very much intrigued. And this is really going to be the start of the dissension of Sami, not being a part of the Bloodline anymore. He will no longer be a part of the Bloodline going into the month of the Elimination Chamber. To me, at least.
That's the way it looks. I don't know. They're in a unique position because they can stretch it or they can end it. So I mean, I am definitely under the side of just hoping that it ends soon, whatever makes Roman lose quicker. But at the same time, it's very entertaining. So I mean, it's not all terrible. You know what I'm saying?
So the Usos and Sami Zayn actually stood out there, and it was time for the Raw Tag Team title match. This match was incredible, just to say the very least. It had me at the edge of my seat. I know it had yours at the edge of yours. Hell, even Chris, was really invested into this match. It absolutely insane stuff here. Jimmy Uso actually got taken out earlier on in the bout, basically, like I say about halfway, and Zayn said, "Listen, Jimmy Uso's out, Sami Uso's in," and Adam Pearce is like, "Well, screw it. I did it for the Judgment Day. I'll do it for the Usos. Let's restart this match. You're a part of the match now. It's official." And I legitimately told you, I turned you and said, what if they lose because of Sami Zayn?
Yeah. I was hoping for that. Oh God, I was hoping for that, man.
I turned to him, guys, and I said, listen, what if they lose the Raw Tag Team titles because of Sami Zayn, and this could go into the final test heading into the Rumble? That obviously didn't happen. But, I thought it possibly could, and it definitely had the potential to go that way. But with a 1D from Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, they retained the tag team titles, and we'll see where things go from there. I mean, Sami Zayn holding purely the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, while Jay was holding the just pure Raw. That I just think that's a sign of things to come, man. I really do think Sammy and KO are gonna win those tag team titles come WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably gonna win. I don't want them to win both, but seeming that I don't know how they're going to do the elimination chamber. Hold up, I had this thought too. There's never been there has to be. I'm a tag team elimination chamber. There has been like at least one, right?
There has been, yes.
I'm thinking of one, but I can't remember what year it was.
I believe it was 2015.
Okay.
2015 Elimination Chamber. Let me take a
I feel like there was.
look.
I only remember one, like off my head, but I feel like there had to be more than that. You can separate the titles like that as well if you want to at Chamber, but I don't know if they would even think to do that. Seem they don't
Tag
really have
Team
any
Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Tag Team titles. Yes.
Okay.
2015, the New Day defeated the Primetime Players, Kid and Cesaro, the Ascension, Lucha Dragons, and Los Matadores.
Okay. Well, yeah, you
Jesus,
definitely
that's
do
a
something
blast
like
from the
that.
past. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Kid and
Sheesh.
Cesaro were a fantastic tag team, by the way.
That shit.
Oh, that's right. And they didn't even have an Elimination Chamber in 2016.
Really?
That they didn't. Nope. 20 they went from 2015 to 2017. Yeah, I think that was legitimately the only tag team championship elimination chamber match. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you definitely could do that because I mean, well, assuming that all the teams that are like in this tag team tournament they're doing on SmackDown, assuming that they are all in the same spot they are right now, you could definitely do a scenario where they lose in the chamber, if they want to. I would do that because I think they're gonna have a one-on-one match against Sheamus and Drew at some point. God, there's no way anyone's beating them in that tournament. Sheamus and Drew are gonna walk through everybody in that fucking tournament. So,
Oh
but
yeah, for sure.
um, but at the same time, I don't. Sheamus and Drew losing to the Usos because they already lost once, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you have Sheamus and Drew lose twice, so they might have them drop the SmackDown ones first. But at the same time, they're mainly SmackDown superstars. I don't know why they would lose the SmackDown ones first, if not the Raw ones. Because if anything, the Raw ones should be the one they drop. I I don't know. Whichever team
Actually,
that's
I
left,
was
I
wrong.
guess you would put them for KO and Sammy. But
There was another tag team championship elimination chamber. Everybody is saying it happened in 2020. I just took a look, and yeah, they are correct. The Elimination Chamber match was happening for the SmackDown Tag Team titles back at Elimination Chamber in 2020. This was obviously no, it wasn't during the pandemic era. This was March of 2020, and there's 14,000 people in attendance in Philadelphia.
oh,
So
that was the last show. That was like the last show.
that was like the last
I
show,
remember
right?
that had to be the last show.
That
Yeah,
was at the Wells
that
Fargo Center, which is where we
mhm.
were coincidentally in
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
I remember
So
that was like the last live show they did. Yeah.
So yeah, the SmackDown Tag Team titles were defended by Miz and Morrison, and they defeated the New Day, the Usos, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, and Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode to retain the tag team titles. So yeah, this was that was the last time we had a tag team title elimination chamber. Good on you guys for correcting me there. I knew it happened in 2015 though. I knew that for a fact.
I only remember one. I ain't
But
gonna care about anything. Yes. They definitely could
I
go
knew
that
it happened in
direction.
2015. I didn't. But yeah, you can do the tag team titles inside Elimination Chamber. You can do a lot of things with it, honestly. Now I have heard some people thinking that, you know, the Usos should not be losing at all until basically WrestleMania, where Sami and KO win the undisputed tag team titles, and then when it comes to the draft, they just give one set of tag team titles to the other brand, whatever brand they don't get drafted to.
Mm.
But to me, I'm like, don't do that. To me, why would you just, you know, give away a WWE championship, even if it's just tag team titles?
Yeah,
To me, I would rather have one set of tag team titles being made by WrestleMania. Let those two teams fight it out at WrestleMania, Sami and KO versus the Usos, and become the real undisputed tag team champions, and have the tag teams just float between both shows. That way you
that's
have
fine.
that way you have a huge like, let's say you have 12 tag teams overall in WWE. I'd rather have one set of a division of 12 teams than two sets of 6.
Yeah,
So just get one set of tag team titles and have the tag teams float between both brands.
simple.
That's just how I would do it. I mean, it just makes a lot more sense, and it's a lot more organized that way.
Sounds good to me. Shit.
But I mean, it's not up to me. What do I know? I'm a 25-year-old guy that is in Connecticut. Triple H, you should call me, but it's okay. Um, but it's okay. We are good to go, and we had them retain the tag team titles in a tremendous match to kick off Monday Night Raw. Baron Corbin was not on a guest list for some poker game or whatever. We don't need to talk about Baron Corbin. That was
Yeah,
just not
yeah,
that was not a good highlight of the show. But what was a good highlight of the show was L.A. Knight.
yeah.
The Undertaker fucking showed up.
That was fucking sick, man. Oh, that was sick.
I love how they did the traditional gong entrance at first, and then they transitioned it into the American Badass, bro.
The least
I
known one. I don't know why they picked that one still. I
Yeah,
have
they,
no
they
idea.
they did the least known theme song for it, but I was still hyped for it either way. When I
Oh,
saw the
yeah.
American Badass thing on the Tron, I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. And sadly, Taker, took a little bit to get that bike out of Gorilla, but hey, it's a huge bike. It's a huge bike. It's a beautiful bike. But in the end, Big Evil came and took it to LA Knight.
Mm, mm, mm. Can we first talk about how LA Knight has went from damn near a go nowhere staple with the male models all the way to in like literally in between a feud. Well, with a feud with Bray Wyatt, a segment with the Undertaker, literally in between one of the greatest ever and probably at the end of his career one of the greatest ever.
Yes.
And he hasn't even been on the main roster. That he hasn't even had like his first main roster pay per view match. This is probably like his first big time like pay per
As
view.
LA Knight, basically, no, basically on the main roster, this is going to be his first pay-per-view match.
Yeah, that's freaking ridiculous. He has not been on here for that long, and now he's already that's how you know that Triple H knows what he's doing, and the fact that Vince tried to put him. Ugh, we're not even gonna talk about that for real. As much as I joke around, as much as we joke around about the male models and shit, LA Knight being what he is right now is definitely the best way to capitalize on what he is because he doesn't. It doesn't even seem like it's forced. He just goes out there and does what he was doing in NXT, and he's over already. He's over already.
I listened to Insight with Chris Van Vliet. They just released an episode with LA Knight heading into the Royal Rumble. They actually just released it today. So Chris, shout out to you. Um, I, Chris asked like a very important question of like, how like what's really the difference between LA Knight and his former character in Eli Drake back in Impact or NWA or what have you. He simply put it as this: there is nothing different. There is legitimately nothing different. LA Knight is Eli Drake. Eli Drake is LA Knight. It's just me turned up to the highest of heights, and you guys are getting the best of me when I am in this character. Maximum Male Models, well, that was. He tried to make that work as much as he possibly could, but at the end of the day, that was not him. That was not authentic LA Knight. That was not authentic Eli Drake. This right here, with the whole, yeah, and just everything like this is exactly how he should have been portrayed all along. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's how he feels most comfortable. This was just the best way to do it, bar none. And Triple H knows that because he has been with LA Knight thick and thin throughout the entirety of his NXT run. So
That's the crazy thing about it. Cause like the whole night we were just like,
we didn't even know LA Knight was going to be there.
Yeah, I didn't know he was there until Chris said it, and then I saw his name pop up on the trial. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." When we were on the way there, I was telling him I knew that Bray was going to be on the show because I already heard that they were doing a Bray and Undertaker thing. I was like, "LA Knight got to be there." I didn't think he was actually going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And that was like a great surprise. But throughout the whole night, we're going just for no reason, and everybody around us was just doing it for no reason. But it's like, he hasn't been on the main roster that long, you know, and he's probably been doing that for what? I don't know how long he's been on the main roster, but
I mean, hell, I mean, he's been doing the thing since his TNA days, but still, I mean, main
yeah, it's
roster
kind of like,
WWE wise, it
yeah,
not long at all.
and it's already over. Like I wanted to take over, like you know how when a heel's talking and they go like, "What?" I'm hoping that takes over that one day. I feel like that is just
That would be great, dude.
that. It's getting there because I didn't know how bad the crowd was responding to it until like I actually like sat in the crowd, and you hear it on TV, but like hearing it there, and I'm sure all of you who've like seen LA Night live before, or even if he wasn't at the show at all, you may have
Right.
heard it. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely insane how over he is, and I win or loss on Saturday, that match is going to be fucking awesome. I don't know if it's going to be cinematic or whatever, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But
Yeah.
man, he's a freaking star, man. So
No
happy.
doubt about it. This goes without saying. He is my early pick for Money in the Bank.
Oh, him and Montez are up there for me. Him and Tez. I don't care.
I mean, it just goes without saying. Him and Money in the Bank just screams like it's legitimately the perfect marriage. You just got to do it. And I saw somebody say in the live chat, I would be able to scroll up, but you know, it might be buried now that in there. One of you guys said that LA Knight is basically he hasn't even reached the surface of what he could possibly be doing in his WWE career, and you're 100% correct. There is no doubt about it that this man is going to go even higher than what he is already at right now, and there's just I'm so proud that he was able to get out of the you know. Oh, that was Nate? All right, well, Nate, good on you. um, but there, there's no there's no way of knowing what he is going to be doing in his future, but just trust us when we say this guy he's got a bright future ahead, man. He's not only and he's not only like Intercontinental Championship like material, he is definitely in that world title contention, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He will be a world champion.
Won't be too long now.
It's only a matter of time, honestly.
Yeah.
It really is. But you know, he was LA Knight. He was basically talking about the Bray Wyatt situation, um, and then the bell tolls, and we erupted the Wells Fargo Center. Like it was absolutely deafening inside that arena, and throughout the entire time, Undertaker and LA Knight, they met face to face. And LA Knight, he got out of the ring and he was about to go up the ramp, but the lights go out once again, and the spotlight shows on LA Knight, and a figure holding a lantern appears behind LA, and it scared him. We see that it is Bray Wyatt, and Wyatt starts to slowly walk to the ring, and Knight gets uh, back inside the ring, and Undertaker sets him up for a chokeslam, but he sent LA Knight into Bray, and Bray hit his sister Abigail before staring at the Undertaker. Undertaker then walks slowly towards Bray Wyatt, whispers something in his ear. Obviously, we could not hear what they were saying, but then the Undertaker just leaves the ring and rides off on his motorcycle, basically into the sunset. And that is how that segment ended. To me, and I want to hear from what your perspective was of this. This was like a passing of the torch to me. From Undertaker to Bray Wyatt saying, "Listen, I'm no longer going to be able to do my civic duty as the, face of fear within the WWE landscape anymore. I have always vouched for you in the past. Now it's time for you to go outward and spread the message of darkness onto the WWE universe." And there you go. Because Undertaker's always been a big fan of Bray Wyatt. Hell, even Undertaker went to Vince McMahon himself after the WrestleMania 31 match, I believe, that they had against each other, and say, "You have to take care of this man in any way, shape, or form." Obviously, that didn't happen because the Fiend, and he got fired for no reason whatsoever. But now he's back, and it's Triple H now, so hopefully things will work out better. But to me, that was a total passing of the torch type moment.
Do you think that's the last time we see Taker?
Honestly, for me, it should be.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of hoping that was. Oh, he missed. He sucks. I was hoping that freaking Jaylen Brown missed 2 free throws.
Oh,
The Celtics about to lose.
oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
they're about to lose to the Knicks. But nah, I don't want Undertaker to wrestle again.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him
No.
wrestle anymore. He doesn't have anything to prove. I don't think he should have wrestled after WrestleMania 20. What was that? 27 or 28? With the end of era match. I think that should have been the end of it.
Oh
I
yeah.
think the shot of him, Shawn, and Triple H, that should have been the last thing we see of Undertaker in the ring. That's where I've been at it for years. But it very well may have been a passing of the torch. I saw what Bray tweeted, and I think he made a post on Instagram. It was one of the social medias. I don't know, but
I think he did
reading that
on both.
message,
I think he said the same thing on both.
yeah.
And
Reading that freaking
Undertaker,
message,
I think Undertaker even replied.
I don't even know. I only saw Bray's freaking. I think it was a tweet.
I'm gonna look right now.
It very well may have been the passing of the torch. Very well may have been that. Hopefully they start to treat him not in the same way they treat Undertaker. I don't want them to have like the same career or nothing, but if he's gonna be what Undertaker was for us as kids, for like the new generation, then I'm down with it because Bray's more than capable of filling in that role.
Okay, so yes, he did tweet, "This moment justified a lifetime of sacrifices for me, a lifetime of people treating my uniqueness like a disease. Through all the bad times, I never changed myself for anyone's narrative, to fit anyone's narrative, I should say. I'm proud of that. Thank you, Taker. Hashtag suck it, LA Knight." Well, damn. But
All right.
then we obviously had a picture of their moment inside the ring at Raw 30 and their match at WrestleMania 31. Then Taker tweeted back. He quote tweeted saying, "Respect is earned." It's still weird seeing Undertaker tweet, but this is basically his Twitter out of character at this point. He doesn't need to be in character now after being in the business for over 30 years. Let him be him. Respect is earned. And to me, with that right there, that's a total passing of the torch right there
Yeah.
with the whole respect thing. But yeah, this was absolutely fantastic from top to bottom. I didn't even know that the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt were even going to be in a segment together. You said you heard about it. I heard no such thing. I stayed away from everything when it came to Raw 30 spoilers, mainly
That's
because
why
I
I
was on the
stopped.
I was on the road for basically 4.5 hours. I was not going to be able to even look at my phone for any spoilers, even if I wanted to. But
Yeah.
I decided, obviously, no, because I want to experience this with my guy, and do it in a, no pun intended, raw atmosphere. So
Yeah.
this was just really cool. And I'm like, when the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt in the same ring, bro, it was just so good.
Yeah.
So we then had the steel cage match, or what was supposed to be the steel cage match between Bayley and Becky Lynch. This was scrapped. What they did instead was they basically did an attack inside the steel cage between Damage Control and Becky Lynch. And we have news onto the reason why it got scrapped. You guys probably already know about that news at this point, but regardless, it got scrapped because of the fact that the Bloodline Trial of Sami Zayn took way too long. It wasn't supposed to be as long as it was, but it took as long as it did, and that's why they scrapped this match. People were furious, honestly, inside the arena. If you guys want my take on the whole thing, people were furious, especially this one dude in our section. This man was not leaving until he got a steel cage match. but
Yeah.
I'm not. I was upset. I was upset that we did not get the steel cage match as much as advertised, mainly because of the fact they love to bait and switch, and I hate it when they do that to us. I mean, I understand, like, that. Actually, no, I don't understand. If you're going to do a long-winded thing like that when it comes to the trial of Sami Zayn, you have a 3-hour show. You could have cut a lot of other things on this show and given us a steel cage match, or at least something to justify
Yeah.
for the storyline. But they didn't, and that's just what it was.
I think I was probably in a more unique position because like Corbin just said, they had the Bianca and Sonya match. The crowd did not like that.
The crowd,
I was me and
they
Phil.
despise that.
Me and Phil were in it. Me and Phil were watching. Everyone around us, they were arguing over here. They were just bored. They were just doing stuff.
like Love,
They did not like
Chris and I, we were into that. The people that were next to Love, because I sat in the middle of Chris and Love, the people next to Love were just laughing up a storm because Love was basically saying, I'll be the center of Bianca's attention anytime, any day. They were just laughing up a storm. They probably didn't even care about the match. They just cared about what Love had to say.
I was trying to keep them entertained. God, I could see they were completely bored with the whole match,
Yeah. And they were fantastic people to talk to too.
Yeah.
But you know, you could have not given us the Bianca match. You could have given us just like a segment with Alexa Bliss talking, and that would have been fine with me. You could have obviously not had the Miz segment. The Miz segment did not need to happen. I'm sorry. I understand they wanted to get Kevin Owens some mic time before the Rumble, but the Miz did not need to be there. And obviously, you did not even need to have Hulk Hogan be there at all to talk at the beginning of the show. I didn't mention that
Oh
for
yeah, no.
many reasons, but um, you didn't have to do that, the Miz segment, or this Bianca match, and you could have given us a little bit of time for that steel cage match, even if it was a quick cage match, whatever. And you just had to give it to us at that point. But
Yeah.
maybe they're saving this for some other time. And they should be giving this to us one way or another because you scrapped this for no reason. And I will say that I didn't look at my phone as soon as I got home. There was a hashtag trending during Raw.
What?
Did you hear about this?
No.
WWE women deserve better.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that like the day after. I did see that the day after.
I saw
Yeah.
that as soon as I got home, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I I understood where people were coming from. Raw 30 really did not show any highlight of, the women's evolution from what it was to now. Um, I understood where people were coming from, but I did not expect a hashtag to go all over the place crazy like that.
Yeah, I think also what Nikki and Brie had to say, I think like during the show, that
Yes.
also helped. And
Yeah.
I'm not that was probably like the best way to
They
for like
handled
her
that
to
very well, as I will
yeah,
say. They handled
yeah.
that very well. It,
And they expressed it well because like the only thing I saw was like,
they're professionals at the end of the day, though, too. So of
yeah.
course they're very well spoken.
And it's like I'm gonna move this to the main event a little bit. 'Cause I think I said this. I said this to Chris. I think before we left the arena, because like
Yeah.
after you drove off, we sat there for a little bit just talking. I think um, I don't have. I usually never have any problem with Brock for the most part,
Yeah.
but I don't like how we saw so little. Like we didn't see any clips of evolution. We didn't see any clips of well, we saw like very minimal clips of. We saw like Sasha and Charlotte. We saw Trish and Lita. Um, we saw like little bits and pieces, but shows like this, it seems like every time they have like a low point, they just bring in Brock Lesnar because they know Brock Lesnar's going to get a pop. But like, you easily could have fit in something for somebody to like speak on behalf of the women. Because like, even when Alundra Blaze came out, no one gave a damn.
No.
Because I feel like you could have, if you wanted to make her coming out, I didn't like how they did that because like they would come out, wave, and then leave. It wasn't
Right.
it wasn't like I think it was like Raw 25, and they had all the women out there in the line. It was either Raw 25 or like Raw 1000, one of those.
Raw 30 was like Raw 30. It's weird. Raw 25 was legitimately. It felt like nothing when you watched Raw 25. Raw 30 felt like what Raw 30 what Raw 25 should have been.
Yeah,
But
Raw 25 was
it's
like,
crazy.
and I think that leads to people to say, "Oh, well, Vince did a better job," and I'm like, probably, I can't say no because
I
technically he did. In that sense, right there, if you put
yeah.
them up against one another, Vince did a better job. But at this, I think it's just like I don't know if Triple H is. Well, I can tell. I think he needs, and I said this before Triple H before we even knew that Triple H was going to be head of creative. Phil, you remember
He
when we were
needs
talking about this?
women writing for the women.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
it. Me
dude,
and Phil talked about this months ago. Women should
bro.
be in head of creative. Trish, Lita,
What
somebody. I know there's somebody back there who will take up the role of being leader of creative so the women can go and get written by another woman who's a
let
wrestler and knows how to write women superstars. That's it.
let's face facts. Ever since what has been the difference when it comes to the women's division with Vince being in charge compared to Triple H being in charge? To me, absolutely fucking nothing. There's still no sense of direction when it comes to the women's division, maybe except for one title, maybe for the Raw Women's Championship, because that there's an actual title defense at the Rumble. But other than that, there's been no sense of direction for any other storyline heading from the women's division. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss, that's it. We have Becky Lynch and Bayley in a meaningless story right now. It has no heat whatsoever. Damage control is honestly nowhere to be where it should be, I should say. And Becky, yeah, she's great and all, but you can only do so much. There's no sense of direction there, and there's definitely no sense of direction when it comes to the SmackDown division. So, what is going on? There's nothing different for me.
I think the difference is I think Vince took more care with the women just because Vince did it for longer. I think he knew that. I think there was certain stuff like I read today that I think the Rumble that Bianca was the one that Bianca won, Charlotte was supposed to win that, and someone had to tell Vince, "Hey, let's build new stars," because that Charlotte was written in the win. Of course, we know Charlotte did not need to win a Rumble. She really doesn't need to win a Rumble at all for the rest of her career, if we really think about it.
No, yeah.
Bianca, established star. She's a superstar now, but she was trying to become an established star at that point.
Right.
Put Bianca over. Don't give someone a Rumble who doesn't need it. Someone had to tell Vince that. So I think that disconnect is there. I don't think Triple H doesn't care. I think Triple H doesn't know how. But at the same time, the little bit of
he was the one that allowed the women to do what they needed to do in NXT to start a revolution in the first place.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like, why doesn't he know how to do that? Like, why?
Why can't he just transition that to the main roster?
There's something not going on there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he needs help. Which I hope he finds that help. And I say it again. I'm still under the impression that me as a man, I can't book a women's wrestling show or wrestling program from beginning to end better than a woman can, better than a woman wrestler. Even if I was a wrestler, I can't, because there's perspectives of the way women speak to each other, the way they wrestle, the way they interact. There's things that I will never understand, the way a woman thinks for herself. Some stuff I just won't understand. And
it's a different age. It's a different age now. It's 2023. We if anything, the women should be allowed to, express what they want to express a lot more nowadays, instead of what they were all the way back in those yesteryears, because of the fact of, it's a different age and it's a different generation and era.
That's the thing.
There's and Nate right there saying AJ Mendez doing WoW.
Yeah,
that's perfect for her. And obviously it's an all-woman show, but
that's a really.
It's a woman. It's a woman addressing things for women's wrestling and writing for all women, and it's making the rounds from what I hear. Like, apparently, WoW is like,
that shit is
no
fire.
pun intended. Wow,
like
it's good. So obviously has to speak wonders.
Could you? It's only three people. There's only three subsections I think are doing women's wrestling the best they can. NXT. I don't know what Shawn is doing over there, but the women are like the focus on NXT.
They had an entire women's focus show basically on Tuesday. A lot of women were focused on Tuesday.
It's NXT, WoW, and it's Impact. I think AEW can do better. I think Raw and SmackDown can do better.
AEW is doing better, but it can obviously improve.
Yeah.
WWE, and I'm sorry to say this, even though that roster is absolutely stacked with amazing women, they're not doing it for me. They're just simply not doing it for me. And And it's not even to their fault. It's not even their fault. It's just the way booking has been. And I mean, Triple H said it earlier on in the show. I understand booking this stuff is a lot is a lot more difficult than it looks, and we'll get
Yeah.
into what Triple H said in that segment with DX because that DX segment was fucking hilarious. But
Yeah.
um, we understand it's a lot harder than it may look on obviously being on the outside of things as wrestling fans, but we just want better for women's wrestling, and that's what really showed when it came to that hashtag.
Yeah, that's all it was. I saw a lot of people like very mad about what the Bellas had to say. I'm like, you may not like the Bellas, but they still held a point where they were a huge part of women's wrestling, as terrible as it was at that point.
Yeah.
They still are a focal point, you know. Um, that era of women's wrestling was so different like what it is now. I think it's in a better position, but you have people over there like I think Paige would have done better right now. I think AJ
Yep.
would have. I think AJ is one of the biggest cases of she came up in the wrong time period. If she came up in the 4 horsewomen era, it would have been 5 horsewomen.
Yes.
It would have been 5 because
Yes.
there's no way you take AJ away and put her where she was at with the Bellas and the Eva Maries and all them. There's so many wrestlers in the Divas division who have done so much better.
She was totally not meant for the eras of Caitlyn, of you know, Brian, Nikki Bella, Alicia Fox, or anything like that. She was not meant for that division. This is the division that she really could have strived in.
And I think I saw like, oh, I think Nikki was the best case of being bad in the beginning and doing her utmost to improve because she's still one of the longest reigning Divas champions as far as I remember.
I think she's number 2.
Yeah, so you can't really ignore that whole sentiment. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that were in that Divas division, and while they were being treated terribly by creative, because I think John Laurinaitis, Vince McMahon, and all of them were doing the women terribly at that point, especially when we were younger. They would have done better in this era because they just would have been better they fit more with what the women's wrestlers are now. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that women's wrestling as a whole, in my perspective, is better. But as far as SmackDown and Raw go, I don't know what they have to do. I don't know what specifically they can do, but they got to do something. They have to do something to fix it because it's so weird how hot Damage Control was. Like I was hyped when they showed up.
And dude, you've seen it was absolutely electric.
Like it was that was supposed to be. I was hoping that was going to be like a female Shield, and it just wasn't. You know,
that was supposed to be the turnaround for me. That was supposed to be the turnaround for me with this women's division. I'm like, let's go. This is what we want.
And even look at the Rumble.
And now it's Ice Cold.
You know, like even look at the Rumble right now. Obviously, we don't know. I think it's like probably like 9 women that have been announced so far. The past women's Rumbles that I remember,
less than that.
Less.
Yes.
The past women's wrestling, the last women's Rumbles that I remember, not only did they have people who shouldn't have won, Ronda Rousey, but it was halfway just one, like people who just like returned for the Rumble and then left again.
Yeah.
They had that lady from oh God, Right to Censor. I think.
Oh, Ivory. Yeah.
Yeah, they had Ivory pop up. I don't have a problem with Ivory being there, but at the same time, she was there, she was out. So we're just like they don't have. Either they don't have or they're not using. You have a whole NXT roster over there, but even before Mandy left, or Mandy got fired, you have a whole prominent women's division over there. Tiffany Stratton is so good. Roxanne is so good.
Tiffany Stratton, and this might just turn into like a whole Tiffany Stratton, you know, love fest for a second, but like,
okay, that's cool.
She legitimately did she hopped on the bottom rope, the second rope, the top rope, and did a fucking moonsault, bro. I never seen anything like that before, bro.
Christopher Daniels, she's like that. Like, come on,
she
man.
legitimately did like the best moonsault ever. And I'm like, dude,
She's
this
like
is
that.
incredible.
I'm freaking so Ruka.
So
She's
Ruka,
freaking
dude,
nuts.
she knows I exist. She's
Bro,
legitimately my Nikita Lyons. And like, this is,
that's a crazy sentence.
listen, I don't care.
Butt ass sentence.
I don't care. Maybe Tiffany could be that too, but I don't know.
Oh, Tiffany's freaking fucking awesome. Oh,
But
fuck.
this is insane. And I did just look it up. There's only 7 women announced for the Rumble this year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be either a 7-woman Rumble or there's just going to be hella returns. Which I mean, I'm not like.
That's the
You
thing.
better put some NXT women in there because I swear to God, if you don't,
That's what you should do. I don't only 2 returns. Obviously, if AJ walks out, I might actually pass away. But that's just like my number one. Like, hopefully she comes out, but she probably won't. But there should be no reason why we're calling people like, I don't know, like
Candice Michelle. I mean, she wasn't,
Candice
but
Michelle. That's a crazy one. I haven't heard Candice Michelle. If Candice Michelle,
listen,
I don't have a problem with Candice being there. I don't want people to think, oh, I don't want the women to come back. Yes, I would love. It's cool to see them from my childhood. You know what I'm saying? But they're not going to win. Candice Michelle's not going to win. You throw Tiffany Stratton out there, she might.
I just threw a random woman in there. I didn't even
You
think
throw
about
Tiffany
it.
out there, she has a chance. You know, if people from NXT, if people watch NXT know who she is, she might get a pop. There's certain people. You have a whole women's roster right there. I'm so mad and sad that Nikita got hurt because I think she should have been in the Rumble.
Hell, I would have liked Karma. Bro, Karma?
I would have lost it. I've been waiting for Karma to come back.
I mean, let's take a look at the people that, and we'll get back to Monday Night Raw in a second. But we had Melina, Kelly, Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville, who was actually a free agent at the time last year.
Okay.
Cameron, Fox, Summer Rae. Oh, the WWE legend. I'm sorry.
WWE legend.
Still. Remember when they kept hyping that up?
That was so funny.
Nikki Bella, Hall of Famer.
Sheesh.
Nikki Bella, Hall of Famer. I forget the Bella. Is it just Nikki or both Bellas Hall of Famers?
I hope it's both.
It would have to be both. Have to be both, right?
I thought it was. I hope so.
Because really only oh wait, yeah. So Cameron, Ivory, Brie, Nikki, Summer, Alicia Fox, Sarah Logan made her return there, but now she's Valhalla, so she's back. Lita and Mighty Molly. It wasn't even Molly Holly. It was Mighty Molly at the time.
Is in every Rumble. She's in every Rumble. She's in every one of them. They call her for that.
It was Mighty Molly because they did a stare off between her and Nikki ASH. So,
yeah,
that
was the most Vince McMahon segment I've seen.
Yes, that was the most Vince McMahon thing I've ever seen in a Rumble. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people out of 30 were either free agents / Hall of Famers. So, and there's one Impact because Mickie James was in there, and there were no NXT women, which is blasphemy.
That's what I'm saying. Like even throw some people. I would love if they brought some AEW people over. Oh my god,
dude! Now listen. I mean, you would have to rely on the actual fans to know or basically be able to watch AEW or just even know some of these people. But getting somebody like Britt Baker in the Rumble, first of all, I would combust. Second of all, like, dude, like that would just be an amazing thing for the Women's Rumble. Hell, even if it's just previous WWE women appearing in the Rumble that are a part of AEW, like Paige, like Toni Storm, Ruby Soho, like people like that, people that WWE fans should know. It would be good. Now, of course, Tony Khan would want something for it, but listen, at the end of the day, you're just trying to do what's best for women's wrestling. Get it done. it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of you just gotta do what's best for women's wrestling, and that's what we all want at the end of the day. That's it. And last year there was no NXT people for the men's either, so that's even crazier to say the least. We had 2 celebrities and 1 free agent, and that free agent was Shane McMahon.
Oh God.
And Shane McMahon was in the Final Four last year, so that in itself was
Ugh.
disgusting. The 2 celebrities were obviously Bad Bunny and Johnny Knoxville. So, point is, let's just do better for the Rumble matches this year, okay? This entire DX segment though, absolutely insane. We're just gonna go through it quick. Imperium, they walked out. Kurt Angle was with them. I didn't even know it was Kurt Angle at first. I legitimately thought in the back of my head that it was goddamn Billy Gunn, and then I looked and I'm like, wait, Billy's not bald, so it was Kurt. And Kurt basically just said, listen, I always wanted to be a part of DX, and he takes off his shirt, revealing a DX shirt. Every single member of DX stood up to Gunther and, trying to be all tough, but they're like, oh shit, well, I'm too old now. X-Pac said he had shin splints. Road Dogg's like, oh yeah, I ain't doing any of this. They were all just, stepping up and backing out immediately. Triple H said that able to fight him, and Kurt's like, nope, no, I didn't. Nope, I did not say that. And they're like, well, we're in some kind of predicament here. If only there was somebody here that would actually be man enough to face you. Seth Rollins showed up.
Awesome.
Insane pop for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was hugely over in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then the Street Profits came out, and they got a huge pop as well. Very good pop there. And Shawn's like, well, listen, we got 3 of them. We got 3 of them. We just need somebody to make this official. And we all turned to Triple H. He's like, why is everybody looking at me for? This booking stuff isn't as easy as people make it seem.
That was very gratifying to hear him say that.
Yes. And that was very good to hear him say that, because honestly, people started to boo at the fact that it could have been Vince McMahon that could have made all of this official. But thank God it wasn't. It turned out to be Teddy Long, and we did the dance and everything. It was the dance.
That's my man, yeah.
First of all, like, Teddy hasn't aged. He definitely has aged. I should say that, but he doesn't look any different.
Nah,
he does not look any different. He's just, good old Teddy Long, man. He's just.
That's the man right there.
He's incredible. I wanted him to say that you'll go one-on-one with the Undertaker, but he didn't. He just made the 6-man tag team match official, because that's his most legendary line to me. I know the whole tag team match play is like one of his most famous lines ever, but the Undertaker line, you'll go one-on-one with the Undertaker, that's the one for me. That's the one for me.
That'd been funny.
Imagine Gunther versus the Undertaker, bro, in their primes.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. If Undertaker gonna try to break Undertaker's streak, goodness gracious.
And that dive out of the ring onto Gunther, bro, or wait, that dive and he just gets chopped in midair, bro. Oh my God, I can imagine things now.
Oh man.
And not the dive where he landed on a cameraman and I thought broke his leg. No, that was the camera though. Remember, that was WrestleMania 25. He dove onto the cameraman and the camera snapped. Yeah. The camera goddamn broke, and I thought it was his leg. But Very, very good stuff here. The 6-man tag team match, I wasn't mad at the 6-man tag team 6-man tag team match happening. Was it really needed? No, but they got the baby faces over, and Kurt Angle was a special guest referee, so
Yeah,
it got what it was.
it was cool. I mean, I'm never gonna say no to seeing Rollins and the Prophets out there, especially Imperium. I didn't know Imperium was there until I looked over at the ramp when DX was still talking. I saw him standing. I was like, oh shit, that was good to see a whole bunch of SmackDown guys on there. But yeah,
SmackDown honestly carried Raw on
because
Monday.
Team SmackDown forever. Team trying to tell y'all, SmackDown supremacy, man.
No, but I'm just
Crazy.
saying, like, basically, there were a lot of SmackDown guys that appeared on the show tonight, which,
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I'm cool with. It was just, or not tonight, but on Monday. I'm cool with it. It's just, it definitely felt like that way. It didn't feel like that way
Yeah.
at first, because, when you're there live, you're just watching the show.
Yeah.
But just looking back at the card, I'm like, holy shit, SmackDown did its thing tonight.
Indeed. Indeed, man.
But yeah, good 6-man tag. Shoddy refereeing aside, uh, the Street Profits and Rollins picked up the win. And I do say shoddy refereeing because let's face it, Kurt was very biased towards Seth and the Street Profits. He was fast counting for them. He was very happy whenever Seth and or the Street Profits hit one of Kurt Angle's moves. Yeah, he was just all in on Seth and the Street Profits. So bias
Mm,
officiating aside, they got the job done.
not bad at all. Not bad at all.
um Poker once again. I will say this though about Poker. Uh they do not make this shit realistic whatsoever.
What do you mean?
Because like they go in and DDP, Ted DiBiase, Medusa, they're all playing and Medusa has like a straight flush. Um
Oh yeah.
the $1 million DDP has like all four aces. Like that's not realistic
I don't know how that shit works. I was just
at
watching.
all.
I'm like,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I don't play poker, but I know people that do, and I asked them this like the day after, like on Tuesday, and I legitimately sent them the segment, and they're like, Phil, this is not realistic at all. And I'm like,
Oh,
I thought so, but I didn't know, right? Because like I don't play, so I'm like, maybe it is, just that easy or just that random to get it. And
yeah.
they're like, Phil, no, there's no way that this would ever happen in a real poker game. I'm like, okay, and that's what I thought, but just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Very unrealistic expectations. But the $1 Million Man, basically Money Inc., showed up and said, "Hey, listen, pay your taxes." And they took the money from Corbin and JBL, and he's like, "Listen, you don't get to lose all of it. Here's $100. There you
Nice.
go." I'm like, okay,
Thanks.
cool. And then, obviously, Ron Simmons hit him with the damn.
Damn.
They didn't wait long enough. You should have waited long enough. They each just said damn as soon as they turned the camera towards him. Like you gotta wait. It's the anticipation of the damn that makes it even more special. And they didn't even jump. And he's like, oh, and then they just walked away. Like, make them wait, make them jump, make it meaningful. They didn't. I that's how I always took damn. You gotta wait a long time and then you say it. That way it's more impactful. But again, what do I know? I'm a 25-year-old guy. Um, Kathy Kelly backstage interviewing Big Bob. Uh, He said, listen, it's no DQ because there's no way for him to hide at this point. I can't get disqualified for doing things to him. He can't run away from me. So win-win. And I will win that US title back. Nature Boy comes out in a very, very snazzy suit. Very snazzy. He's doing the whole woo-woo thing. He introduced SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte.
Boo. Oh no, we gotta cheer her now. She's face. We gotta cheer her. We gotta cheer her now.
Dude, it's so weird. So freaking weird. Charlotte says some things. I don't even know what she really said. All I heard was that she's just the SmackDown Women's Champion. Woo.
No, and you know what she said that I didn't like?
What?
She alluded to the fact that she was one of the. All right, I ain't gonna.
One of the greatest women's champions of all time, or something.
She's not. She just has the most belts. She's not. I do when I think of the women's revolution.
Most of her title reigns don't even last a week.
As I'm saying, like when I think of the women's revolution, of course Charlotte's there because she technically is a part of the Horsewomen.
Yes.
Becky's done more. Bayley's done more. Mercedes has done more. I've been putting them in this 4 ranking. Charlotte's been at the bottom this whole time. I think Becky is interchangeable out, but I think Becky as a face is higher than Charlotte now. Mercedes number 1 is never changing, but I guess you can interchange the other 3. But Charlotte is not. I think you can pick 10 women from the Divas division with the Divas era that are more impactful to the women's division now than what Charlotte is. I think Bianca's more beneficial. I think Bianca's more. I think AJ's more. I think Paige is more. I think but there's a whole bunch. I think Michelle McCool's more. Mickie James is more. Man, if I sit down and think about it, oh my God, I think I could. Yeah, because no.
Is she number 4 in the 4 Horsewomen for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky was 4 when she was a heel because I despised her, but no. I'm not gonna calm down. I'm gonna get hyped up because there's no way we're not doing that. She's not the greatest. There's no fucking shot. You know what? Nah, I respect that because on paper she is, but I rip up paper. I cut the paper. I throw the paper in the fucking trash can like Kobe. I don't give a damn. No. She's not even.
And you guys have already known my stance on Charlotte. It's not even close to what the other.
Tiffany Stratton does a better moonsault than Charlotte ever did, and Tiffany hasn't been wrestling that long. You know how dumb that is. Tiffany Stratton isn't even like she was a gymnast. She wasn't even wrestling for real, and she does a better moonsault than Charlotte Flair's with Ric Flair's freaking seed. Are you kidding me? Are you? Man, don't get me.
I mean, hell, she can't do the Andrade elbow thing right, and she never even should have attempted that in the first place.
I'm telling you, Charlotte's biggest deficiency is the fact that she has completely is just a female version of her dad, and that's also her benefit because, but it's also a derivative because you're never going to. It's either you're never going to fully reach that point, or you're always going to be chasing against that. That's why I respect. Even we all know that Dom isn't the best wrestler. I respect Dom for now going his own way instead of just chasing around his dad. You know what I'm saying? I respect Dom in the Judgment Day more than I respect Charlotte Flair walking out there with the coat and the woo and the chops and the figure 4 and it's just, you know what I'm saying?
At least they kind of changed the music for her. When they changed the music, I'm like, all right, we're slowly getting better.
It still sounds nearly the same if you really listen to it. It's just a little bit lower.
I'm not just trying to fully discredit her. Okay, obviously I know she's she's good in the ring. I can't not deny that, right? She's good when
she's great in the ring. She's an athlete.
She's an amazing athlete. Like that's not what we're saying here. You guys know where I gripes with Charlotte if you guys have watched this for a long periodically timed. Shout out. But
She can wrestle. It's
yeah,
just
you guys know our
Mhm.
gripes if you've seen us. It's just it is what it is. Um. Oh, sorry, Prodigy. You'll get used to it.
Tony made one of the best quotes in wrestling. That's going to be like a timeless wrestling quote. Every time we don't like something,
Easily.
sit back and take this fucking shit. Just
I
crazy.
mean, Bianca came out, then Sonya came out, and then it was Sonya versus Bianca, um, non-title match here. This match meant nothing to me. I'm sorry. I love Bianca, but this match meant absolutely nothing. And I think like Love and I both really know that, but we were just hyped to see Bianca Belair, so we were just trying our best.
I'm telling you, I was trying to make the people next to me as entertained as I could because they were not happy. And then the dog. All right, you chat. So we're watching the match, right? One of the dudes behind us goes, "This is boring." This girl stands up, and I'm watching Phil. I'm watching Phil because me and Chris are from Philly, so we're just watching this. I'm watching Phil looking at him. And I'm like, I hope we're not scaring the hell out of Phil right now because she pops up and she starts yelling back at dude. She's like, "You get no pussy, you get no," and so they're just yelling back and forth during the match. I'm still trying to watch. They're screaming behind us. They're going back. They're just they're yelling for a long time. I
I
thought
was laughing hysterically.
that shit. During the match was I it had to be like 15 minutes long. I think they're arguing the entire match. They didn't stop
Yeah.
until my man Lamar from
To my
security.
man
He was like,
Lamar
"Hey,"
just comes up and
he
says,
was like,
"Hey, calm
"Hey."
down."
His name's not Lamar. I just named him that. I didn't know his name, but he was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, stop!" And they kind of stopped, but they were arguing for a little bit. It was funny. They were not happy that he said that, but
Yeah,
that
she
can tell you
legitimately
one thing.
said, "You get no pussy."
She tried to start a chant. It didn't work. We weren't on her side. It did not work.
No,
But
nobody was on her side.
she looked kind of scary. It was weird.
Yeah.
Her best friend got up and they started doing like a Fortnite dual emote kind of thing. It was kind of scary. I didn't know what she was about to do, but the man said other
And
things that
then
I
other
can't repeat
people started to
on
chant to
here.
fight, and then
Yeah,
for
I,
some
I was
reason
chanting
I
fight. I definitely.
I chanted fight, and Olaf's like, "No, no, 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 you don't get involved in this." And I'm like,
No,
"Okay,
I,
okay."
I didn't know how that was gonna go. Phil, I didn't know what was gonna happen. So like, you sit there because no, that shit, no, no. Phil gets hurt under
And
my
then I
care.
told
No, I gotta,
Olaf when I went to the Boston Celtics game during the playoffs last year. Um, we were up in we were up in the nosebleeds, and exactly something like that happened during that game. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of right up my alley. Um, it kind of just fit right there. It was
that
it
was a
was
good time, man.
insane, but this match meant absolutely nothing. So it is what it is. I mean, obviously Bianca won. There's no chance Bianca was not going to win this. Loff actually thought it was for the title, but it wasn't. So
I thought it was the
they're
whole
good.
time. That's why I was watching so intently. I was scared.
Why everybody trying to fight? Listen, Corbin, I don't know. It's Philadelphia. Anything can happen there.
We knew they weren't going to fight. Well, I was hoping the man
No.
didn't walk over there and just to
What
the. I
once
obviously hope they
once
don't.
Lamar showed up, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
no, they're not gonna be
ain't
able to do
nobody gonna
anything.
fight. They were far away from each other. I just wanted them to yell at each other more because it was funny. Ain't nobody punching nobody.
Yeah, it was basically like it was one from one section to another. Like it
Yeah.
was that far away from each other, but still, it could have gone somewhere quick if they didn't. If they didn't give a fuck, if they legitimately did not give a shit, they probably would have.
If my man Lamar wasn't there to save the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um, it
Shout
is
out
what it
Lamar.
is.
Shout out Lamar
But
from
Bianca did
security.
win. um,
Oh, I didn't ask you this, Phil.
yeah.
Did you like the chicken fingers?
Oh yes.
Okay, good. Okay, let's make it sure.
Oh
'Cause
yes.
I was telling chat what I had to. They were mad at me because I spent like a whole bunch of money getting them at Extreme Rules. I was like, bro, those chicken fingers do be slapping, and
Oh yes.
Yeah. We had to
The-
go like downstairs to get them or some shit. We had to go like around the thing to find the fucking chicken fingers, but it was
yeah.
good. That was good.
And they were very good. The fries were amazing too. Um,
Thanks.
anytime that I go to Philly again, I gotta go to that place where they just sell the cup of fries.
Oh yeah. Cause they were that's where we were at before you got there. We were in the sports bar thing.
Cause I know there was like a stand or whatever that just had it was
Yeah.
not a restaurant, but it was just a stand, and they were only legitimately selling a cup of fries. I'm like, dude,
That was chicken
fantastic.
pizza. That was chicken pizza. The big
Yes,
fucking bottomless cup of fries. We got that like
yes,
at like 5 before we went over and got you.
yes. So I'll definitely be going there again. We then had the fourth installment of the Cody Rhodes Royal Rumble return package. Good stuff there. I was marking out for Cody. People were telling, like, looking at me like a freaking idiot. But listen,
Phil was so happy.
it's Cody. I was such a happy boy. Um, we then saw the Cena uh 2K showcase trailer for
Mm,
2K23. That was pretty cool. Um, Miz got demolished by Kevin Owens, which is always a good thing to see. Um, Kevin Owens basically just sent out a message to Roman Reigns saying, "Yeah, fuck you. I'm taking your title." Um,
yeah.
good to go there. Then the United States title match happened, and oh my god. First of all, I do have to say, this match was completely rushed to me. I felt like this match was completely rushed,
Yeah.
especially near
Second
the
half
ending.
was
Um, this match is good, trust me, but this match felt completely rushed near the ending, especially with the whole Brock Lesnar thing that happened. Uh, Laf and I were just marking out like crazy for Bobby Lashley. People
mm,
all around us were laughing at us, just making fools of ourselves. But you know what? We love Bob, and that's what you do around these parts.
one
Um,
guy was so happy for Austin Theory. He was
dude,
screaming.
Axel, I don't know if you're watching this right
Oh
now,
yeah.
and the 14 people, but Laf and I could vouch that this man and you would have been the best of friends.
That guy was hyped for it. He would not shut up. The
A-Town
night over,
down!
they turned the lights on. He's
A-Town
still screaming.
down!
Hey, downtown. Me and him are yelling back and forth. Oh my god, that shit was funny. That shit was funny.
All day!
This man
All
got smashed when Theory
day!
came out. I gotta find that video. I think I recorded that when Theory was coming out. He was screaming his head off.
It was not Axel, but Axel and him would have been fantastic together. Like, um,
Mm-mm.
dude, like, we were all just like screaming back and forth at each other, and of course, it was always in good fun. Like, it's obviously in good fun. There, he
Nah, I
was
hate that
basically
dude.
doing all down or like A-Town down, and we're like, no, A-Town down, no. And like just amazing stuff. Shout out to the dude, man, because it was all in good fun, and that's just what wrestling shows are really supposed to be about. Just having fun with absolute strangers, but you guys are like the best friends.
Yeah.
um, but this match was really good for the majority of the time. Uh, we had like apparently two picture-in-picture commercial breaks on all of this, but obviously we didn't get to experience those because we were there live. Um, I told Chris that when Bobby Lashley mentioned Brock Lesnar in that interview, I'm like, watch out, Brock's gonna be here tonight. And Chris is like, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. And he legitimately like shook my shoulder when Brock's music hit. As I
He
was
loves
getting up,
Brock.
I actually kind of had to hold my shoulder for a second because the man like almost popped out of my socket. But I'm like, hey, um,
He fucking loves Brock.
yeah, he loves Brock. Um, it, it was electric. Finally getting to see him again. I haven't seen Brock Lesnar live since Money in the Bank 2019, so it was like 4 years since I actually got to see Brock Lesnar live. It's a different atmosphere when you have Brock Lesnar there live in person. I don't know if you even seen Brock before live.
Nope, that was the first time. Yeah,
How'd you feel about it? I mean, I
I
know
was
Brock
excited.
Lesnar's not usually our favorite person, but
Nah, I was excited until he walked down the ring and I realized Bob's going to lose the match now. You know, but in that like that 15 seconds of him popping out, that was pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, the last time I saw Brock Lesnar, he broke a cameraman's arm. So, I mean, this time nobody. I mean, people got hurt, but it's in the realms of professional wrestling, just F5s. But um, no cameramen were hurt in the making of the Brock Lesnar segment. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Just pushes over a ladder and breaks the cameraman's arm
Hmm.
mid, running into the ring, just to destroy Ali in the Money match. And that's how they got Brock in the Bank or Money in the Brock or whatever they called it. Um,
Rocking the bank.
just insane. Um, so Brock Lesnar's music hits, the crowd erupted, and we did erupt. Uh, Lesnar is the one to cause Lashley the match months ago between those two, uh, Lashley and Theory. We're in the final minutes as Lesnar he hit Lashley with an F5. He grabs Theory, gives Theory an F5 onto Lashley, and just so coincidentally, Theory stayed on top of Lashley, and that's technically a pinfall. So 1, 2, 3. And Theory retained the United States Championship, and that's basically how the show goes off the air. We saw, the carnage in the ring. Lesnar leaves, and that's how it's all done and over with. And there was no dark match at the end of Monday Night Raw, so we were able to get out of there. Uh, but we didn't get out of there right away because we tried to get, you know, some people where the superstars come out to get to their cars and everything like that, but we didn't see anybody walking to their cars. We saw the cars actually driving out. So it was what it was, but a very exciting Monday Night Raw. I will say that it was just very exciting being there live. Um, my first Raw in ages. But a very good show nonetheless.
How far is Chicago? I want to go to that Chicago show. April. Wait, Nate. What day of April was that? If it's like after I graduate from college, I'll go to Chicago. I'll go to Chicago if it's like after I graduate. I can make my way over there for
It
Raw.
like
I
it's
kind of
either well, wait, is it before or after Mania? Because
16th. Mm,
April 16th is a Sunday, so probably 17th.
April 17th. I gotta figure that out.
Because April 1st and 2nd is WrestleMania,
Oh yeah,
so
after Mania.
it's
Oh,
either the 3rd, 10th, 17th, or 24th. 17th. Okay, so yeah, 17th.
I ain't gonna lie, Phil. I definitely had a conversation about going to Mania 39 yesterday.
Oh,
I,
that's cool.
I don't know. It was a pick between doing that or going to 40, and I kind of picked 40 because I think 40 is more important to me. I think like
Hey,
just
listen,
on.
you do you, man. If you had the opportunity to go to WrestleMania 39,
I won't be able to go to both. You know what I'm saying? So I think
yeah.
40 is going to be the easiest one. So I think most people I get to meet will be there. I know how much people going to be at 39, but 40 I don't got to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I mean I don't know. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem. I asked he could buy me a ticket to Raw 30 so I could be with you guys, but he said no. That's just tough. I'm sorry, Josh. um, but yeah, Raw 30 was good. We'll get into our quick Royal Rumble 2022 predictions. I legitimately said we weren't going to do a full Raw 30 review, and that's exactly what we did. But the fact that Raw 30 was a stat show and we basically did that in an hour and a half, I'm actually kind of proud of that. So, I mean, no, I thought that was going to be a lot more time than that. So, the fact that we did the full Raw 30 review in an hour and a half, that's actually kind of impressive. We will talk about a potential Jay White appearance during our Royal Rumble 2023 predictions once Olaf gets back.
Hello.
And he's back. So yeah, I just finished telling the audience that the fact that I said that we were going to be doing a full Raw 30 review, and we did, and we actually did it in an hour and a half, actually kind of that's honestly kind of, that has to be like some kind of record for us when it comes to Raw reviews. So I'm
Easy
cool
money.
with it.
Easy
We can
money.
spend the next half hour talking about the Rumble and the
Easy money.
shows. So very, very nice and concise review here. We will go to the Royal Rumble 2023 predictions. We got 5 matches to go through. For both Rumbles, we have 2 predictions to make. So we'll get to those when we get there. But our first matchup of discussion is Bianca Belair defending that Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. Now, to me, it's an absolute no-brainer who should win this here. But anything can happen when you possibly have Uncle Howdy looming in the shadows. So, who do you have winning the Raw Women's title?
Bianca, KOD off the top rope. That's what I've been asking since WrestleMania, but she probably won't do it. But I'm gonna say it again. Alexa's probably gonna try to do some fireball, scary Harry Potter shit.
Like she did
But
to Randy Orton that one pay-per-view?
yeah, exactly. But Bianca retains. Easy money.
I got Bianca as well. I mean, yes, there's obviously Uncle Howdy looming in the shadows or whatever to try to get into the head of Alexa, but Bianca is not losing that championship until WrestleMania. There's no way, and maybe even after WrestleMania. I don't even know. But there's just no way that Bianca should be losing this match coming on Saturday. So yeah. I mean, this one just is unanimous at this point. Hell, even Nate's saying Bianca retains. So, Josh is saying Bianca. Um, and I mean, it's basically unanimous from the divisions here.
Pretty much.
Up next, the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Bray Wyatt and L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one's kind of unanimous too.
Yeah, Bray's probably going to win. And I don't have to win this one, to be honest.
Yeah. He's already over enough, but
Yeah.
we have no idea what this pitch black match is going to be entailing. But with this being a Bray Wyatt type match, Bray Wyatt has to win this thing to me. Plus, this is his first real match back in WWE, televised at least.
Yeah.
So why would he lose his first televised match back?
That's crazy. That's his really first televised match. That's nuts. Damn.
Yeah, because I mean, he showed up at Extreme Rules, but he really only has been on television just doing promos. And that's the main reason why people are so pissed off at all of this right now.
Damn, that's crazy.
Which, I mean, when somebody tells me that they're not really fully invested into the Bray Wyatt situation anymore, I can't blame them, honestly. I can't blame them because people want instant gratification. People are so numbed to the storylines of Vince, basically. Nobody's really gotten the whole long-term storytelling until Triple H came around. So I understand where people are coming from, but all I have to say to that is just be patient because we're getting all it is going till WrestleMania.
Yeah,
But
pretty
Bray
much.
Wyatt's here, so I'm invested regardless because I just like the mind of Bray Wyatt. That's just how I take it.
Yeah, yeah,
But
should
we
be cool.
got Bray. What I do think is actually going to be happening with this match, though, is that we're going to start off in a cinematic fashion, but end it in the ring.
That'd be cool.
So I do some kind of half and half type shit. I think that's kind of what happened during the Firefly Funhouse match with John and Bray.
I think
right?
I like remember like bits and pieces of that match.
Something of that. I know there was a match during the pandemic era or something of that nature where they had half of it happen in like a cinematic format and ended in the ring. Maybe that was WWE, maybe that was AEW. I'm not too sure, but
Yeah,
something happened where they did it cinematic first and ended it in the ring. So, Cena Bray 36. Okay. I knew it happened between Cena and Bray, and that but yeah, something like that. It could be a thing.
do you
But
think
yeah,
Charlotte's
Bray
defending?
who?
Do you think Charlotte's gonna end up defending against Sonya?
I hope not.
Yeah, me either. I don't want. I feel like they're gonna announce it tomorrow.
I hope not. But that's what I said, right? Firefly Funhouse match.
Yeah,
I said that. but but yeah, Bray Wyatt LA Knight is unanimous. Um I don't even know why we have to make predictions for this match. It's Roman.
some way, shape, or form.
It's Roman.
Same
I
shit,
would
different day.
love it if Kevin Owens somehow got the win because I do believe Kevin Owens is deserving of a world championship at some point. Again, because yes, I already know he's been Universal Champion. Nobody has to tell me that, but this man deserves a real world championship run. Roman's winning.
Unless by some way, well, actually, no, I'm not even going to plant that seed because there's no use planting a seed in dry, dead
If
grass.
Sammy fails the test, that would be crazy, but I don't know.
Like, it don't matter what the test is. Roman's going to pin him like usual. So I mean, it's one spear, 1, 2, 3, move on. I honestly want this to be the opener, so I can get this out of my way. I honestly want this to be the opener because we know what's going to happen.
They usually say he either starts off the show or ends it, and you know the Rumbles. You know one of the Rumbles is ending the show.
It
Has to.
better. It better.
Rumble
But
starts the show. Rumble ends the show. I'm sorry, Roman. You're just gonna have to go somewhere in the middle.
he can be right before the Rumble. I hope they don't put him at the
You
main
can be
event.
before the Rumble. You can be before the Rumble. I'm fine with that. You can be the co-main event. You're fine with that.
Yeah.
Because you definitely don't want to have the World Championship match be on the second match of the show, mainly because of the fact that like the second match of the show, that's the current jerker match, and nobody likes being in the current jerker. So you gotta do it at least in the co-main event, and Roman on the kickoff show never would happen. Never would happen.
I think they should just go, yeah, just Roman match, Bianca match. Well, Roman,
Because doing 2 Royal Rumble matches back to back would be killer. That would be
I was
terrible.
gonna do that. I was gonna do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done that before, have we?
I don't know, but I thought you would. I mean,
Since 2018? I don't think so.
I have no idea. I would just to try it. I mean, it's called the Royal Rumble, so I don't know why that wouldn't be the main focus of the
That
damn
would
pay
be
per view.
so long though, bro. That would be like 3 hours back to back of just rumbles.
It's gonna be the longest. It's gonna be long anyway. It's gonna be a long show anyway. Fucking 2 hour battle royale. It's gonna be long anyway.
The men's Royal Rumble match happened smack dab in the middle of the show in 2018. Jesus.
Yeah, that kind of
Oh,
sucks.
that's right, because the women's Rumble main evented.
2018. The one Becky won?
Asuka.
What one did? Oh, I'm tripping. Okay.
The first ever women's Rumble match main evented in 2018. 2019 we started no wait. The women's Rumble was basically in the middle of 2019 and the men's main evented. That was Seth Rollins. Oh wait. Yeah, that was Becky and Seth winning the 2019
Okay.
Rumbles. 2020, obviously that was Drew and Charlotte winning basically second match in on the Rumble card because Roman defeated Corbin in the first match in the Falls Count Anywhere. Terrible, and that's what you were doing with Roman against Corbin, really.
Dumbass.
Then 2021 was obviously Edge. 2022 was Brock, my bad. So Edge won that one. That was the main event, followed by I always kept thinking that the Rumbles for the women started off the show. They've been smacked in the middle since 2019 or 2018, I should say. Damn. I always thought you started off one and ended one. Okay.
I don't know.
The reason why I think that is because that's what happened last year. We started off with the women's and ended with the men's. That's why.
That shit freaking sucks.
Okay, so either we're getting the women's smack dab in the middle or the beginning of the show. So I don't know. We'll see. But speaking of the Rumbles, we started off with Roman and Seth. No, we didn't. In 2022?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, we started off with Roman and Seth, but okay, the second match. Yeah. So basically,
I
yeah,
was pissed.
the women's Rumbles have basically been smack dab in the middle since 2019. Kind of crazy. So we'll see what happens. Listen, Seth should have won at that point. Okay, I was a mad boy at that time. I probably just choose to forget that he won by disqualification, but did not get the title. Okay, I choose to forget that because he should have won that night. I mean, Cena should have won at SummerSlam, but I don't even want to talk about that.
Oh God.
Speaking of the Rumbles, though, we won't talk about the Women's Rumble. I want your Final Four and your winner from that Final Four.
Final Four: Rhea, Liv Morgan, Naomi. Becky. That as hard as that for me to say Becky, and then just Rhea eliminates probably Becky, then Liv eliminates Naomi. Rhea and Liv, last people, interchangeable, but logic, I'm going with Rhea winning the Rumble. I would love if Liv won. I would freaking lose it, but Rhea winning, or that's logically Rhea wins. If Shayna takes Becky's spot, oh fuck, that's good. That's good, actually.
Yeah. My final four consists of Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley. The runner-up, Naomi, and the winner, Rhea Ripley.
Sounds good to me.
The way I have it is if let's say my runner-up somehow wins the Rumble, let's say Naomi wins the Rumble upon her comeback to WWE, then I would have Rhea Ripley go inside the Elimination Chamber, win the chamber to get to Bianca. The way I have it though is if Ripley wins the Rumble, we then have the SmackDown Women's Championship number 1 contenders Elimination Chamber, where Naomi wins that chamber and gets to face Charlotte at WrestleMania. What I have for WrestleMania is I have Charlotte and Naomi and Ripley versus Bianca.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 SmackDown and Raw Women's Championship matches heading into Mania.
Sounds good.
That's how I would book it. But Becky Lynch, it's not too far off to have her in the Final Four. I will say that.
You think anyone's going to return?
Like a surprise return other than Naomi?
Yeah.
I mean, I would lose it if it was April. I mean, I could see the Bellas returning. I could see a Michelle McCool, Layla return.
Layla.
I mean, basically some kind of like the rinse and repeat stuff that we had in previous years. But, mainly for me, what I want is NXT.
Yeah.
That's just what I want. I mean, you guys can have some returns from like Hall of Famers and free agents or what they call them like in the last few years, but for me, it's NXT. It's NXT.
Yeah.
That's just what I want. And then finally, we got our men's Final Four and winner from that 4.
Cody, Rollins, Sammy, Cena.
Okay.
And then Cody and Rollins be the last 2 people, and Cody wins.
I stuck by it. I even tweeted it, so I'm sticking with my Final Four. Seth, Cody, Sammy, Theory. Seth and Cody being the final 2. Cody wins the Rumble. And that is not even me being biased. That is legitimately just how it should be.
Yeah, shit.
I legitimately don't know what to do with Seth after that point. Which is the frustrating thing about this all. Because Seth has to be in some way, shape, or form being a part of this WrestleMania, but I just don't know what he would do.
Well, then that means you would do the same thing that if Rhea were to lose, then you would do the exact same thing you do for Rhea in the chamber. You would do the same thing for Rollins in the chamber.
I know, but I mean, but what if The Rock still is showing up at Mania? What if we do get The Rock versus Roman?
Then you would do 2 matches. You would do Rock and Roman, and then
we do Rock and Roman and Rock and Cody.
No, you would do Rock and Roman, then you would do Rock and Roman, and then you would do Cody, Roman, Rollins, triple threat match. Because I think that you have more.
I mean that's better off.
Yeah. If Sammy wins, then part of Roman's test is going to be for Sammy to lay down for him and let Roman pin him. That's what we should do. We should do a prediction for that. What do you think? I want you to go first. 'Cause I made a TikTok about mine, but what do you think Roman's final test is going to be?
I don't know, like, because what I think it has something to do with the Rumble match itself, but
Mm.
let's say if Sammy does somehow win the match, does Sammy somehow get like goaded into saying, you know what, screw the match at WrestleMania, I want you in Elimination Chamber, and they screw him out of something
Well,
for
Sammy
the
is on the
chamber,
cover of
or
Chamber. Like Sammy's like on the chairs, so
because I
he's gonna
it's
do something at Chamber.
yeah, like, dude,
I
like,
I don't know
and
what.
that's what I'm saying. Like, do they goad him into saying, you know, screw WrestleMania, I'll just take you on now?
You could.
Or they just say, you know what, listen, you're not going to face me at WrestleMania. You are going to lay down for me at the Elimination Chamber. That way I don't have to defend that Mania, and then we'll get what we need to get during the Mania build. But
But then you'd be breaking the rules of the Rumble like completely.
and that's the whole reason why I'm thinking that it can't be that. But Roman does what Roman wants.
That could lead to him getting one of the titles stripped because they keep saying that they're trying to get the belts separated before Mania.
So, like,
So uh,
what did you say this test was going to be?
I've been thinking about it for like 2 hours now. What my TikTok was just mainly Roman gives Sammy like a loaded ultimatum. So it's like he comes in at number one, has to win the Rumble. If he wins the Rumble, he has to lay down for Roman and let Roman pin him. If he loses, he has to endure the person who endorsed him at Raw 30, Jay, getting a full humiliation and beating in front of everybody. So Roman goes out there with like with the strap again and beats him and humiliates him in front of everybody. And then if Sammy says no, I don't want to do either of that, then he gets kicked from the bloodline. So it's like he's trapped in a way. It's
Yeah,
either you win the Rumble and you lay down, you lose the Rumble and Jay gets beat in front of everybody and none of you can do anything about it, or you do nothing and you're kicked out.
you're I mean, what you're saying is nothing like the storyline that I have in my head, but you're kind of doing like the whole ultimatum thing from like free or fired from the Nexus with Cena. You either do your thing, you either
Yeah.
hand Barrett the WWE Championship and you're free from Nexus, or you have Orton retain that goddamn title, but you're fired from the WWE. Like the ultimatum thing actually does sound pretty nice.
It's a triple threat ultimatum. You can't win for losing. Nothing good comes out this for Sammy unless I don't know. I'm like I'm trying to find a way out of the own scenario I've created and I can't.
And nothing good comes from WWE or came from WWE if Cena handed Barrett the WWE title or he was fired from WWE. And then I'm
only
watching that entire storyline right now, bro. It's
I
so
gotta watch
good.
that.
I don't.
Only way Sammy gets out of that is if he just like goes to the match against Roman where he's supposed to lay down and then ends up beating him. That's the only
Yeah,
way you make it out of that. But that's a task in itself, you know.
I like. Here's the thing, and people are saying, and like I understand people's point in saying that, like, oh yeah, well, Sammy is basically too over at this point to be going for tag team championships. Like, I understand your point to some extent because I mean, a lot of people just want Sami Zayn to win the Rumble. That way, he could be the one to dethrone Roman and all of this. But to me, it's always been the story of Sammy and Kevin. So
Hmm.
I don't think he's really too over to get tag team championship gold. And in fact, like I know people would say that, like, if Cody would win, they would turn on him, they being the fans, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening.
I think they'll turn on Sammy quicker.
I just don't see the fans turning on Cody Rhodes after everything that they've been going through over the last 7 months with him.
I I see people like, oh, Sammy can be like the Daniel Bryan.
And yes,
Daniel
you're right
Bryan's
about that.
run to be, I
But
think Daniel Bryan's run to being champion was better than him actually being champion. And I feel like
I
a lot of
mean,
people don't remember that, you know? The
yeah,
whole Yes movement was not built off him being champion. It was built off of the fight to get him there. So
yes,
Sammy can be as over as he wants. If he goes over there and beats Roman, now you have to put Sammy in a position where he has to match up to that. And
right,
the crowd may like it for a little bit, but he's no longer going to be affiliated with the bloodline. So now Sammy's going to be back in a position where he was at in the first place. And I don't know if they would support that. Cody winning is a safer route. One, because you have the anticipation. He's already one of the biggest faces in the company, and he hasn't even been there for that long. And you don't know what Cody has to offer as this new. This is his first time being the American Nightmare in WWE, so you don't know what he's
right,
gonna do.
yeah.
Sammy's went through 4 different kind of scenarios, and even in one of those, he hasn't been this over or close to being this over since his first NXT run. So Sammy sounds good in the moment.
Yeah. But I mean,
Oh
the
shit!
reason why the reason why fans turned on him the first time around was because they wanted him to turn heel in AEW. And Cody just simply did not want to do that.
Yeah,
So fans revered against him. They booed him, legitimately out of the building at times. But Cody stayed true to what he was, and that was the American Nightmare at that time. Now he's the American Nightmare in WWE. He is not really changing for anything who he is. The story makes sense that the whole NY family versus the Rose family, two families that have clashed for generations, and now it could happen at 39. That is what the whole storyline was going for from the very beginning, even before he got hurt.
mm.
And it just made sense for him to return at the Rumble, and it's just so perfectly aligned with each other that Roman versus Cody just makes sense. Predictability is not always bad, and that's what I'm trying to tell people.
Mm.
If the story fits and it fits the narrative of what they're trying to tell, it's not always bad. To me, that's just how I take it. But I understand why people would say that, like, oh yeah, it's just too predictable for Cody to win.
Yeah, but those are the same people that want Becky to win the Rumble.
Right.
So it's like, what game are we playing right now? Like, are we
Uh,
playing the game of what's predictable? Or are we playing the game of let's give the Rumble to the person who keeps winning them? You know?
the only reason why I had Becky win the Rumble the first time around, and you guys can go back, I said Becky Lynch could win this year's Women's Royal Rumble, was because Ronda was champion. I legitimately thought that we weren't going to be able to get Ronda versus Becky unless Becky won the Rumble. But then obviously, Charlotte, I mean, yes, she kind of saved us, but now she's basically directionless in a directionless women's division as a babyface when there's legitimately nobody to go up against her. So we're still kind of stuck in the same position. But, you know, we were all happy that somebody took the title off of Charlotte or off of Ronda at the time. But now it just seems like Rhea is the only person to do it. Rhea is just the odds-on favorite. I don't even think it's predictable for Rhea to win. We just want her to win so badly because it is, you know, all the hard work that she has done since being in the Judgment Day finally getting to pay off. And they teased it. They teased Bianca and Ripley months ago.
And in the Rumble, the story's right there because the final two were Bianca and Rhea.
Yeah, and we were supposed to get that match at, I believe, Money in the Bank, and we could not get that because Rhea got hurt. So it's just a culmination of what should happen. Predictability is not bad as long as it fits the story.
Yeah.
Now, Marquise, I do keep seeing your comments about Jay White. Jay White, if he returned, or not even returned, if he showed up in the Royal Rumble, I would lose it. I love Jay White. I love Jay White. From what I can tell, or from what I know, I mean, Loth, you can obviously speak for yourself, but you haven't seen much of Jay White up until recently, right?
The first time I saw him was a little bit before he showed up in AEW to help the Elite or something.
Okay.
Something like that.
But I mean, you obviously heard of the guy.
Yeah.
And,
I watched a few of his matches because people recommended me. I didn't know who he was like about 6-7 months ago.
So, I mean, if Jay White showed up at the Rumble, and I've said this on multiple occasions, that Jay White would be a Triple H type guy all the way. Like, he just fits that Triple H type, narrative of a guy, of like a top star. Yeah. Jay White would be absolutely fantastic. I think he would fit WWE to a goddamn T, and he is in some sort of a loser leaves New Japan match before the Rumble. So if he loses that goddamn match and leaves New Japan, we could be actually seeing him in the Rumble.
When is the match? The match is like the Rumble's like Saturday.
It has to be sometime. It has to be sometime like. Let me loser leaves New.
How much time
Japan.
left?
Nah. Either it happens sometime later on today, or tomorrow. Oh wait, no, did it actually already happen? Am I just that much of an idiot and did not realize? Because people were telling me that it was going to happen this week, but it might have actually already happened. So Jay White challenged Hikuleo in a loser leaves. Oh shit, Hikuleo? And I know WWE was looking at Hikuleo. Oh my goodness, that's huge. White then cut a promo blaming Hikuleo for his loss against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 17, saying that he and Tama Tonga's defection of the Bullet Club last year, blah, 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 blah. So when was the match? They did not say. And come on, Wrestling Observer, you did not write that very well. Where the hell, guys? If you know when the loser leaves New Japan match took place, tell us. It definitely had to have happened already because it can't happen tomorrow.
Supernova says way after.
After the Rumble?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not even saying the date. Okay, well, listen, I'm gonna trust you guys because you guys are usually a lot more prepared than me when it comes to this. So, listen, if it happens after, that's just when it's gonna happen. But holy crap, Like, dude, I know WWE is looking at Hikuleo because obviously the ties with the bloodline, of course. Um, but if Jay White were to ever leave New Japan to show up, that would be insane. I don't know. All I know is that there's a lot this is heading in store for the Rumble this year. Whether you say it's predictable, whether you say it's unpredictable, it's going to be a fantastic show from top to bottom. This is legitimately one of the most anticipated Royal Rumbles in, I would say, decades.
I think this
'Cause
might be the best one
honestly,
since 2008.
yeah, because honestly, I can't even remember the last time I've been this excited for a Rumble.
I think. Well, I'm trying to think. Like, I think I get more excitement out of Rumble than I do WrestleMania some years.
Yeah,
But Rumble's like always like my top
the
two favorite
Rumble's
pay-per-views.
always like my favorite show of the year.
Yeah, I think it's just the recent years. Like last year, I think was a really bad one. It took that Ronda Rousey win, that took the air out of me, and Brock was just like whatever, you know. It was just, I think Rhea is building towards the future, and I think however you go with the men's, whether it be Rollins, Cody, even Sammy in some cases, that's still building towards the future. I think Triple H doing this is going to do a great job. I think we're going to see some surprises. Hopefully Kofi can do another like amazing spot because last year he damn near slipped on the thing, and I think he messed that up a little bit when he tried to jump on the barricade. Last year just fucking sucked for just it was just a bad mojo around last year. But even if Dwayne shows up, hopefully he's not in the Rumble. For the love of God, do not put Rock in that Rumble. If you're gonna show up, have him show up.
Yeah.
At the end of the KO and Roman match, but just please don't put him in the Rumble. Please, 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 no. But I don't know. I'm definitely. I can't wait. I can't wait for Rumble, man. I'm trying to find somewhere to watch it. I'm probably gonna end up watching it here, but I'm trying to find like a sports bar or something to watch it in.
If there's a movie, if they for somehow like tweet out like, "Oh my gosh, watch your Royal Rumble at your local theater," I'm going to the theater.
Oh, I gotta do that. I never experienced that. That shit looks so fucking cool.
I gotta go to the theaters if it actually does show up in my
Hold
nearest
on.
theater.
I'm about to look that
Because I
up.
never experienced that before either. That would be insane.
That's like second.
But
That's like second like place to go and see it live.
yeah. Hopefully they do show it in theaters. If not, then I'll just be probably at my friend's house or my friend's apartment or his parents' house, regardless. But either way, gonna be a good time. And yeah, wherever you're watching, however you're watching, make sure you guys have fun while doing it. You know what? Screw this. Hold on a second. When do you think your winner is gonna show up in the Rumble? Like what entry number?
Cody
For the
even
women's and
comes out.
men's.
You said what?
For the women's and men's, where do you think your winners are gonna show up at? Like what number?
Cody comes out at number 1 and Iron Man's his way to the end, or he comes out at number 29 and then Rollins comes out as third. I thought about this. I was in the shower. I had my best thoughts when I'm in the shower, and I was like, what if like Otis and Damian Priest are like 27 and 28 or some shit?
Otis and Damian Priest.
Yeah, I thought it was like some random shit. And then
just two of those were random, like
Yeah.
just like unexciting
You know what I'm saying?
entries.
Otis eliminates himself and Damian Priest at the same time. So now there's a spot where there's no one in the ring. 29, Cody. And now you've switched the places. Remember when Rollins was in the ring waiting for Cody to come out? Now Cody comes out and now he's waiting for Rollins to come out. He's sitting, they like flip it over. And then you have the match. And then you give them like the Shawn and Undertaker moment. We had them wrestle for like 15 minutes and then Cody wins. Or you have Cody and Rollins start off 1 and 2 and then win. But I think biggest scenario is Cody being 1, Rollins being 2, Cody Iron Man, and then win. I think Rhea comes in at number 30 and wins. I think that would be the best. I think Liv's gonna live in like fucking Sonya or some shit. They're gonna be 1 and 2, but I think Rhea's gonna come in number 30 and then clear house. And Tasha Steelz is gonna be there.
That's just a prediction, or you know?
No, that's a prediction. She just tweeted something. I think Tasha Steelz is gonna be there.
I'll look her up.
From what she just said, I think she's gonna be there. And I would freaking lose my mind because she's freaking awesome. So hopefully.
Is it? What the hell is this? Her most recent tweet 2 hours ago? With the whoopee thing?
Yeah.
The end, hashtag to the next chapter. NXT are capitalized.
See? Yeah. If they pick her up, if
Tasha Steelz goes to NXT,
you know how insane that women's division is going to be? Oh, Jordan Grace, I'll punch something. There's no way oh man, that'll be sick. That'll be freaking sick.
Dude.
Oh my God.
So for my predictions, obviously Cody and Rollins are number 1 and number 2. They go to the end. And they Iron Man the whole thing. That's just how it should be. You either do Cody 1 and Seth 2, or Seth 1 and Cody 2 to call back from their match at Mania. I don't care. That's just how it has to be. Them being 1 and 2 makes sense. Iron Man the whole thing. And I don't know why, but I feel like 18. I feel like 18 is a perfect number for like a Rhea Ripley to get a ton of eliminations, get a ton of time in there, show her dominance, and win the Rumble. I say 18. I don't know why 18, but 18. But yeah, I feel like somebody like a Raquel though has to easily be like in the 1 to 10 spot and just go ham. Get a lot of eliminations, being like an Iron Woman of the thing, and just get it to that Final 4. Do you think Liv actually does show up at number 1 though, like she wants?
Yep. Hopefully she stays to the end.
If you legitimately like make this whole thing about Liv Morgan wanting to be number 1, you have to have her as number 1 to make her prove that she wanted to be 1. If she wanted to be number 1 this entire time, have her be it and let her prove herself.
Indeed.
Emma number 30. That's honestly like that would be a really disappointing 30 to me. But
AJ
Tasha Steelz number 30, bro. Do that. Do it. No, imagine if it was Mercedes at number 30. Oh my God.
Nah, but don't do that. Don't do that to me, man.
Deontay, don't do that to us, bro. AJ number 30. Oh my God.
Y'all have no idea how long I've been waiting. It's been 10 years.
Naomi. Now, here's the thing. Naomi being a number 30, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
That would be cool.
But I would say this. If Naomi was number 30, she has to win at that point.
Yeah, but then you got to deal with she only won because she ran out the company and they're calling.
Listen, I don't give a shit about that.
This is gonna be
I want the best women's matches as possible for WrestleMania. Charlotte and Naomi, they tore the house down when they last faced off.
That is true. That is very true.
Rhea could get the chamber. If Naomi shows up at 30, she has to win. But other than that, it's Rhea Ripley, and there's no other way. But yeah, Tasha Steelz to NXT. Make it happen. Is her contract about to expire? I need to get Tommy on the phone.
Who?
Tommy Impact. I need to get
No,
Tommy
no.
on the phone.
Whose contract?
Tasha.
Oh, Tasha? I think Tasha's done. I think her contract already expired.
Oh,
I think she's like done like now.
I might legitimately have to call Tommy though, just to
Yeah.
make sure, because he's basically me for Impact.
I know he knows.
Free Kenny
think,
King. Kenny King.
oh, that's my man. Oh,
Dude,
good.
Kenny King's my man.
Oh shit. Kenny.
Free Kenny King. Imagine if Kenny King showed up in the Rumble, bro.
I don't want to get my hopes up
He
and
would
this
be
shit
right at
just
that
mid.
point. Imagine though, say his name and he appears. We believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh, dog. That guy is something.
I know Luna from TikTok, Luna Havoc, would freak out.
That would be something.
I don't even know if you know him for real like that. Do you?
I got my first impression of him when I walked out there and saw him doing the dancing moose, whatever that was. He was like, I don't even know what I watched.
Wave
I don't
your
even know what
hands
I
from
watched.
side to side.
I was very confused. I don't know. I still don't know.
If Randy and E return, I will cry.
I hope he comes back, man.
I mean, and yes, I already seen the reports of E debunking his Royal Rumble return, but of course he would debunk it so that it would be a real surprise when we see him. But I don't know. I'm hoping, but I'm not like getting my hopes up, if that makes sense. Moose to NXT. That would be insane.
Jeff Hardy returned. Don't play with me, man. Don't do that to me, man.
Don't play, Deontay. Don't play.
I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch me have a heart attack on live TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Because
Moose versus Braun Breaker would be Jesus Christ, the two big men.
Slapping me.
Paul White return in the Rumble. Oh my god. I mean, what's really the harm of like having former WWE guys from AEW show up in the Rumble? I mean, what's really the harm?
Nothing.
But like,
I don't think.
Like TK, Triple H, put your pettiness aside. I know Triple H called your company a pissant company back at the Hall of Fame, but we know it's not true. You know it's not true. Just get your pettiness aside and get it over with. Make it happen for wrestling.
I think they should fight, but that's just me.
Merger happening in 2025. That would be terrible. Don't do that.
I know. Oh, what is WWE versus AEW? No, you don't. You do not want that. You do not want to WWE because there's no way to book that. There's absolutely no way.
There's absolutely no way to book that, especially with Triple H and Tony Khan being as petty as they are. No.
It either goes 50-50 and it's trash, or it goes 100% one way and it's still trash.
Listen, we either get it 50-50, or it's like that Survivor Series where Raw won like 7 matches to 1.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what Survivor Series that was, but they did that.
Exactly. And whoever gets blown out, they're going to be mad. So just stay away. It's okay. It's okay.
On paper, WWE versus AEW sounds cool as shit, but it just would never work.
If they let Adam Cole come back in his freaking 10-year contract he's locked in, holy crap.
Would I like to have seen Seth Rollins versus Hangman Page? Of course. But who wins that?
I don't know.
Like
you can do the Bucks and Usos if you want. They will not book a winner.
Would I like to see a Brock Lesnar versus Brian Cage? Holy shit, yes. But who wins that?
Brock, honestly.
Brock, but yeah, but dude,
That one.
Brock Lesnar versus Brian Cage, the the Lucha Underground Brian Cage, that would be fucking insane.
Lucha Underground went stupid.
Lucha Underground Brian Cage was unreal.
That went stupid.
But yeah,
the superstars know they would not, because now you have a media scrum situation. Then people are going to get mad at each other. That would be even worse than Triple H and Tony trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just stay away. Just stay away. Just do what I did. Go in your 2K and let the game simulate it. Then whatever happens, happens. Just don't,
I mean, hell, Tony beat Vince McMahon in that simulation, which is crazy.
He did. But... He definitely did. And then we did night 2, and then we just like walked them. So it was like night 1 was like a tie because Tony won. Tony beat. I think he pinned Triple H. I think he did. I don't remember. That was fun.
Such a fun stream.
I'd rather have Triple H versus Tony Khan than have them just go. Triple H wrestle now, but if he was healthy,
it sounds really good on paper.
Yeah,
it sounds really good on paper, but it just would not work, especially with the egos.
Stay away.
But Brian Cage would definitely fit the WWE mold. And I would. Brian Cage's contract with AEW is actually almost done. So if he does not choose to resign, he can go anywhere. He could actually end up in WWE for all we know.
That's interesting.
But yeah, that's it for your Monday Night Raw post show and Royal Rumble 2023 preview and predictions. Obviously you will not be seeing 2 live streams on Saturday, because normally we would have been able to do the predictions before the Rumble, but since we did them here, we're good to go. So yeah, you'll be just seeing the post show of the Rumble when it's all said and done. I'm actually just gonna make the stream as soon as I get off of here. That way we can just log on in here after the Rumble and get it all set and ready to go for you guys. Yeah, it'll be a good time. Goldberg, please don't show up.
Oh God, no.
Corbin, don't speak that. Don't speak that type of language to me, bro. You're swearing in my chat right now, and I don't like it.
Don't curse.
It's just it's not a fun time. It's not a fun time. Just don't allow that to happen again, okay? F Bill Goldberg. You're right, Josh. There you go. But yeah, that's it. You have anything else to say before we're out of here?
WCW invades NXT live on BET right after OTB. Yeah.
Oh shit! I am gonna watch that. Oh my god!
And got some shit going on.
WCW and NXT crossover? That is insane.
Tiny bit.
Insane. We just said that WWE and AEW crossover wouldn't work. Who's gonna win between NXT and WCW?
WCW wins all the time. We have the best
fair. I mean, listen, and yes, people, I understand. People keep messaging me left, right. Impact will return. It's just been a crazy last few weeks and months. It'll return.
Indeed.
And as far as I'm aware of, still, WCW is still on top of Impact. So you guys legitimately have to, step up to these guys. The Laugh Appreciation Society is running wild in Impact right now. Yeah. So once we get back, and we will be back soon, you'll have to face this guy. So
yeah,
stay safe. We appreciate you guys. Stay safe. God bless. Have fun watching the Rumble, and we will talk to you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown. Hopefully no more matches are announced tomorrow, because if we do, I'll just make another previewing predictions on my TikTok. I already have one saved, but I'll probably just have to add something if they make something for SmackDown. But we're good. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, merch, social medias, all down there. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Go and watch last stream. Link in. I think it's actually linked in the description. I think last Twitch is in the description. So go check it. Now, ECW invades NXT. Peace out.
WCW, man.
Fuck.
Now you gave me an idea. You gave me an idea. Now
ECW is back, y'all.
We'll call Paul Heyman up. Get this on the road.
Hey, Pauline.
Let me get Paul.
I was gonna say Pauline Nasty. That's not it. What was his thing?
I forget now.
Pauline something. I don't know. Either way. Listen, Elme, it always happens. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Go check out WCW.
Yeah.
Talk soon.